are dancing. And we're all dancing to be free. We're all dancing to come home. We're all dancing to remember. And when I give to you, I know that I'm giving to myself. I know that I'm giving to God and all of us. I know that my sharing is always a sharing from me, for me, when I remember that we're all one. And so there are none of us who are separate. There are all of us who are here to be free with one another, to share in love with one another. You know, I'm talking today about integrity as power, and power shows up in a lot of different ways. And I think sometimes we've been afraid of power, and I remember years ago wondering how love could be power. And then I realized that love is the power, the only power. The power of wisdom, the power of integrity, the power of joy, the power of presence, the power of creativity. Love is the only power. And love is the way that we dance into our freedom. So this song was perfect. I realize that this is important for me today, perhaps more important than other times. And so some of it's written, some of it I usually share really spontaneously. Some of it was written several days ago, some was written this morning. And some of it just always comes from my heart as who I am and why I'm here. I think many of you know that when I was born, as much as I consciously remember, I knew that I was here to serve. And I knew that I was here to serve from a place of happiness, joy, natural, easy, effortless giving. So what I realized when I started writing this is when you know your truth, you speak it confidently. And when you know your path, you live it courageously. And when you know your purpose, you live it faithfully. And when you know God, you love fearlessly without end. Without end. And I call that integrity. I call that the power of love that lives in me and lives in you, each in our own unique ways. There's a piece from the I Ching. Robert's talked about the I Ching, the way of Tao. And this is number 15 on modesty and egolessness. And you may relate to some of this. The wise person avoids having interest in that which is extreme. When he knows something, he knows that he knows it. And when he does not know something, he also is aware of that. In this way, he preserves true knowledge. And when he experiences trouble, he uses it to develop his wisdom. He uses roundedness in thinking and squareness in conduct. I actually like that. That's why I'm smiling. Roundedness in thinking and squareness in conduct. He does not murmur against heaven, nor blame other people. In knowing the first movement of things, he develops brightness of mind, and his mind is of a high degree of ease and peace. He can be thus because he keeps his mind dispassionate and unaffected by the cares of the world. This is the way of the Tao, the way of life. And then because Robert likes definitions, and he was using definitions this morning, I'm just going to share with you a definition of integrity. Sometimes I've called it inner gritty. Inner gritty. But anyway, the definition, according to one of those books, many dictionaries, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness. And the second one is the state of being whole and undivided. And you're starting to see, I think, that with integrity, when you're undivided and you're whole, there is only power. There is only presence. There is only God. Because there's no division, there's no separation, there's no lack or loss. Everyone and everything is included. Integrity in leaders. I thought this was interesting. And Robert was talking a little bit about spiritual leaders, but I'm going to say this refers to all of us as leaders, whether we're coming from an inspired state or a worldly state or a parental state or a financial state. We need to understand that there are some qualities of integrity. So hopefully you will apply them to places in your life where you're living a truth that you want to be whole, that you want to be powerful. Continuous spiritual or personal growth. Continuous learning. Reliability, meaning that you can be relied on. You're going to be there. You're always there to follow up. Accountability. You do what you say. You say what you do. Responsiveness. You're able to respond to whatever is rather than react to it. Doing the right thing. That was mentioned again this morning. Doing the right thing. Sometimes we say for the right reasons at the right time. And I love respectfulness. What is respectfulness? To me, it's looking again and seeing deeper. It actually comes from the Latin, which means to look again, to see in a deeper way, to be willing to move beyond the apparency or the surface. Accessibility, being available, spiritually available, physically available, financially available, emotionally available, really being present. And transparency. What you see is what you get. This is who I am and who you are. And sometimes I think with transparency, we think that the outside is what we're looking to be transparent, when really what we're wanting to do is show our heart. Show what's really inside. Really be it. So a few days ago, I asked about the signs of integrity because I wanted to know from inside, from spiritual guidance, I wanted to know what are the signs of someone who's in integrity. So you might want to ask yourself, is this true for you? Connected to higher power. Connected. Plugged in. Attentive. Listening. Connected. Second is free to be and do. Where you're not holding back or withholding. What you're doing is you're allowing yourself the freedom to easily be who you are and do what you're here to do. Easy provision for every good work. Now, sometimes we call that abundance mentality or prosperity. But I want you to notice, it's knowing that you are provided for every good work. And it comes and flows through you and to you as naturally as breathing. Peaceful flowing lifestyle. What does that look like? That looks like no hitches along the way, no ups and downs. It just flows through whatever's going on. Happy with whatever you're called to do. That means cleaning toilets. That means changing diapers. That means paying bills. It really does mean that what you're doing is you're happy about it. You appreciate it. You value it. Clear, confident communication. What is clear, confident communication? I think it really is being able to state clearly what's true for you and connect with others and speak a language that they can hear as well. Can easily change with changing circumstances. Can easily change with changing circumstances. I mean, just ask yourself how much you dance, right? That was a good song again. And you're free to dance. You're free to flow around obstacles. You're free to let go when it's time to let go and move on into whatever is next for you, one step at a time. Trust and faith in the best and highest outcome for all. Really knowing that you want only win-win solutions, what's good for absolutely everybody. And free of fear and open for whatever's new. Now, we said I am one self, united with my Creator, one with every aspect of creation, unlimited in power and peace. I wonder what that means and how we live it. I am one self. I'm one with my brothers and sisters. I'm one with this beautiful earth we live on. I'm one with unity. I'm one with every place that I am. And in that, I am in integrity. And I am unlimited in power and in peace. Right here, right now. My integrity and yours. My integrity and yours. I've given my life to serving always the highest good and the highest call. Since I can remember as young as helping my mother take care of my brother when she had a bad back. He was a year and a half younger than I, and my dad went to war. I actually remember the natural energy I have to serve, to give, to love, whoever, whatever, however. It's been my calling in my life. And even though I know that, I make mistakes, just like all of us. And what do we do with the mistakes? We correct them quickly, easily. We learn. And I am truly happy and at peace with my life. I have a life that, no matter how it might be seen by someone else, has been good for me. Happy, peaceful, kind, loving, and always generous, always sharing. Because what I know is I'm sharing with myself, the one, all of us. So when we're single focused, when we have everything together, lined up, we're like a laser. We are extremely powerful and precise and direct. And when we're unified in function as well as form, the reason why I'm doing it, and the form in which I do it, the form in which I live it, that our life flows totally with fulfillment, around obstacles, without barriers. And when we're present with clarity of intention, when we really have a clear intention that I am love in the world, I am love in the world, I am love as the world, that I give and receive only love, then what happens, everything works together for good. Everything. And nothing's left out, and no one's left out. And when our lives are integrated, truly integrated, we really are happy. And we're at peace. And we're in love with ourselves and with everyone around us. Life is good when we are one with ourselves. So Emmett Fox, I know I share this from time to time, but I just want to remind myself, since I'm you and you're me, there's no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that enough love will not heal. And no door that enough love will not open. And no gulf that enough love will not bridge. No wall that enough love will not throw down, and no sin that enough love will not redeem. This is the truth. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, and how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you and I could love enough, we would be the happiest and the most powerful beings in the world. This is the truth of love. So what is this thing called integrity that you do? Live the way you really want to live. Live the way you really want to live. And speak the truth you really want to share. And give what feels right and good to share. Think with a mind that reflects your values. Integrity is the presence of being that comes from knowing yourself. Integrity is the presence of being that comes from knowing oneself. Integrity is the power that comes from living one's truths. Integrity is learning to listen within to follow what is yours. Integrity is owning and honoring full responsibility for your life. When we feel upset, and all of us do from time to time, it tells us something is off. When we feel misunderstood, it tells us we're not hearing ourselves. And when we feel criticized, it shows us where we've not fully valued ourselves. And when we feel lost and alone, it tells us we're not one with ourselves and God within. When we're out of integrity, we've forsaken that which is ours. When we're not at peace, we've gotten caught up in worldly conflict. When we're not in love, we've been seduced by worldly fears. When we're not truly happy, we have immersed ourselves in problems. When we're not truly happy, we've immersed ourselves in problems. From Course in Miracles, where I often go, as my reminder, trust will settle every problem now. And forgiveness offers everything we want. True happiness comes when we judge nothing and no one, including ourselves. And love is the answer, whatever the question. And yet, in the world of human personality, we fear the differences. In the world of conflicting values, the ego fights to be right. In the world of ownership of territory, people fight for claiming what is theirs. In the world of needing to express, it seems like most people fight for time to actualize themselves. And it is time to free ourselves. It is time to free ourselves to trust ourselves and trust each other. Because we're all doing the very best we can, knowing what we know and believing what we believe. The first step to integrity is to know who you are and to value it. And then we need to create a place to freely express our own uniqueness. A safe place. And then we need to live with confidence, giving everyone the right to express their own truth, values, beliefs. And you know what, as I'm sharing this is unity. This is unity in this form, this center. But it's unity in our world. It's the return to oneness in God. It is why we came. And we're here to remember that and remind one another by living it. Living our own lives in integrity. Integrity yields power, power, power. Good power, God power, love power. And integrity creates transformation. It inspires courage. And integrity is coming home. Coming home. Thank you, God. Integrity is coming home. So I invite you to know your authentic self. Know who you really are. And if it changes, change with that change. And live your true purpose. And live it confidently. Live it faithfully. Live it passionately. And honor whatever your path is to follow. And please appreciate everyone else who follows their own purpose, their own path, their own calling. They're giving you what is theirs to give on this homecoming and the return to God. I was given, through an email from Jan, I was given a piece, and it's in your bulletin, and I want you to take it out if you would, and I want you to look at the side where it says Revolutionary Agreements. And if you can't read it, I'm going to say it first and you can read it after me. It actually was expressed by her from Minister at Unity of Walnut Creek years ago, and it actually comes from Marion Hand, and she's a teacher and so on, spiritual teacher. And I want you to look at this as an invitation to have you begin to stand up for yourself. In fact, if you'd like to, I'm going to suggest you stand up. And if you don't feel like it, then don't stand up. Stand up for yourself, just in giving this declaration. It is from me to you, and from you to me, and from us to everyone, everywhere, all the time. All the time. I agree to live my mission. Say that for me. I agree to live my mission. Speak my truth with compassion. Look in when I react. Keep doing what works and change what doesn't. And I agree to listen with my heart, respect our differences, resolve conflicts directly, honor our choices. And I agree to give and receive thanks, see the best in myself and others, look for blessings in disguise, and lighten up. And I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank goodness we're in this together. Thank goodness you're giving yourself permission. Thank goodness that we're all sharing in this sacred place at this time and reminding one another, because you are indeed my loving reminders. You remind me, you inspire me, you encourage me, you lift me up to call myself someone who lives with power because I am in integrity. Thank you very much.